Imagine this, a company loses six of its employees, no layoffs, no restructuring, just resignations. And within 6 months of time, everything starts falling apart. The customers start complaining, the employee morale goes down, the deadlines start slipping, and suddenly everyone is updating their LinkedIn profiles. The biggest business problems are not the technology or strategy problems, they are related to the human behavior. Let's say you pose this kind of a problem in a consulting interview. How would you go about solving it? Let's have a look at it in this video. So, before we solve this interesting problem, let's have a look at the human framework which we'll use while solving this case. So, here H stands for health check metrics. So, what does that mean? In such cases, we ask about a few metrics that tell us the current health state of employees, customers, and the company in general. First is the NPS, that is the Net Promoter Score. This metric explains the customer experience health. If NPS drops, the customer experience is getting worse. Second is the eNPS, that is the Employee Net Promoter Score. This metric shows employee sentiment health. This metric shows the amount of trust employees have in the organization. If the eNPS is dropping, the employee morale is dropping in the company. Third is the response time. This shows how fast the company solves problems. Are the teams solving problems efficiently? If the response time increases, collaboration or knowledge flow is breaking. Fourth is the attrition cohorts. Who is leaving matters more than how many are leaving. So we group employees into categories to analyze who is leaving, not just how many are leaving. If high performers leave first, the organization culture is at risk. Next is U, underlying drivers. Once we have measured the health, we find other root causes. There are five core driver buckets. First is leadership, where we think if the direction is clear, is leadership visible, and is strategy stable. Next is workload. Are top performers overloaded with work? Is work distributed fairly, etc. Next is incentives. Are high performers rewarded differently? Then communication. Are changes explained? Do employees understand why decisions happen, etc.? Last is processes. Are tools slowing people down? Are approvals too slow? And are meetings too many, etc.? Now we go about mapping the personas. Not everyone experiences the culture the same way. We must map the impact across frontline employees, mid managers, support functions, and customers. Next is actions. Actions must be split into two types, quick wins and systemic fixes that take time to build. Let's look at quick wins. These are fast confidence builders. For example, transparent communication, workload redistribution, manager check ins, etc. The goal here is to stop morale bleeding fast. Next is systemic fixes. These are long term structural solutions. For example, incentive redesign, knowledge backup systems, leadership communication rhythm, process simplification, etc. And the goal here is to prevent future collapse. N stands for the next 90 days. Never roll out cultural fixes company wide immediately. What we do instead is run a pilot, measure signals, and create feedback loops. Because culture change is behavioral and not policy driven. So, to solve the case that I mentioned earlier in this video, we need to ask some clarifying questions regarding the organization, the core problem, and a few metrics like NPS and attrition rate, etc. After asking these questions, we get the following information. Let's have a look at the organization context. Here it is a mid-sized SaaS company with 1,200 employees. The functions impacted by the attrition of the six employees are customer success, product, and engineering. The instability is rising since 9 months. Now let's have a look at the trigger factors. The six top rated employees who resigned in 3 months were the informal cultural carriers and problem solvers of the organization. The exit reason mentioned was better opportunity. Changes in a few metrics like eNPS, attrition, customer NPS, and ticket resolution time are mentioned below. Now that we have this information, let's apply the human framework. In health check metrics, we must infer which health dimensions are breaking based on outcome patterns. Let's look at the sentiment health, that is the employee NPS. eNPS has dropped from plus 32 to minus 4, that is 36 points collapse. So, this happens only when the trust breaks or the perception of fairness breaks or there is burnout and insecurity among the employees. From this, we can say that psychological safety and trust in leadership has likely dropped. Future outlook confidence in the company has dropped. Next is behavioral health. Here we see the resolution time is 38% and attrition spikes from 11 to 27%. If only staffing would have reduced, there would have been a gradual increase in the resolution time. But a 38% spike here suggests that there is knowledge gap, collaboration drop, and some decision making delays here. This shows that the cross team help behavior has reduced, knowledge sharing has reduced, and the feeling of ownership among employees is reducing. Now let's look at the talent flow health. The attrition spike after high performers exit suggests that the attrition is not random but network triggered. This implies that when employees start leaving because others, especially high performers, are leaving, it signals that something must be wrong. When exits are not random but concentrated within specific teams, roles, or performance groups, it indicates systemic vulnerability. Psychological contract breach perception. This means that employees feel the organization has failed to meet implicit promises, even if nothing was formally broken. Next is delivery health. Ticket resolution time spiked to 38%. Given that the trigger is that the top problem solvers left, most likely the reason is loss of tacit knowledge. This implies there is risk of tacit knowledge concentration. Problem solving speed has reduced. Next is customer health. NPS has dropped from 54 to 41. Customer NPS drops only when experience is not consistent. Internal instability leads to service variability and hence customer trust drops. This implies that the relationship continuity with customers is broken. Now let's look at the underlying drivers. First is the leadership system driver. If the issue was only compensation, the ENPS would have dropped. But here we see customer metrics are also lagging. This signals a structural coordination breakdown. From this, we could infer that future growth clarity is missing among employees and high performers saw low future upside. Now let's look at workload architecture driver. High performers usually carry heavy tasks like exception handling, cross team unblock work, escalation resolution, etc. Removing six such nodes leads to system load redistributing poorly. From this, we conclude that the organization failed to distribute critical knowledge across multiple people. The organization relied on a few exceptional individuals instead of building stable processes. Next is incentive structure driver. High performers leaving first often signals that the market is paying premium or the internal reward system is less, promotion velocity is low. Next is communication architecture driver. If the real reason behind initial resignations is clearly understood and transparently communicated, uncertainty reduces, so secondary attrition slows because employees feel informed and reassured. But when attrition accelerates, it suggests a meaning vacuum. No clear explanation is given, rumors fill the gap, and fear spreads socially, creating contagion driver exits rather than rational ones. Next is process and system driver. Ticket time increased because of people loss and not system change. So, this is likely a secondary amplifier and not the primary cause. Next is cultural network driver. High performers leave because of which attrition spikes and ENPS crashes, which leads to productivity drops. This is a classic network morale collapse pattern. Now, let's look at the persona impact mapping. We'll first see the impact on the frontline individual contributors. Ticket resolution time has increased, ENPS has reduced, which means lost help network, workload increase, confidence decrease among employees. Next is mid managers. Attrition spike and simultaneous delivery slowdown means that they are focused into reactive firefighting due to upward and downward pressure. Support functions. Here, attrition spike and ENPS collapse shows trust deficit among support function employees. Then, customers. NPS has dropped and resolution time has increased, which means we have lost customer relationships. Now let's have a look at the actions. We'll look at quick wins first. Here we target fear among employees, load distribution, and information vacuum. Because we need to cater to the immediate risk like contagion attrition, performance collapse, and narrative vacuum. Hence, we need to establish a transparent narrative, workload redistribution, and stay alert with employees showing early signs of leaving. Now let's look at the systemic fixes. Here we must target structural fragility. Since overdependence on informal nodes caused failure, we need to improve upon knowledge redundancy, ensuring critical skills and information are shared across multiple people so operations don't collapse if one person leaves. Now, using behavioral and performance signals, we identify employees that are likely to resign before they actually do. We reward high performers distinctly to prevent pay compression and retention risk. Strengthening cross team connections so collaboration doesn't depend on a few key individuals. Now, let's look at the next 90 days logic. Why do we need pilot here? Because culture and morale interventions can create temporary perception boost, like the placebo effects. So, testing in a small group first helps measure real impact before scaling. Why customer success first? Because it directly links employee morale, that is the internal health, with customer experience, the external results, making improvement or failures visible quickly. So that is how you solve behavioral and cultural problems. In the next video, I'll be talking about another unconventional case wherein I'll dive deep into a niche category. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching, and please hit the like button if you found this video helpful and subscribe to my channel to stay updated. I'll see you in the next one.